Don't forget, you still have a chance to win a giant Porunga leader. Just comment, like, and the video in the description.
This is Derek. I played him in top 16. He played Janemba. Gave me my only loss to Janemba ever, so let's go into it.
It was very interesting. I don't think I saw a lot of Janemba players today, which is kind of a shock. I know the format's kind of changing, but I didn't have enough time to actually look into more of what the next set was. So I was interested in doing the U6 stuff, like trying to mix the old Green Kava with it, but I didn't have time to get everything together and finalize it. So I kind of looked at what I had for the new set 7, and I kind of stuck with tried and true Janemba leader for the most part. So let's get to that. So the leader, pretty standard. Each attack, you draw a card and your opponent mills 2. When you awaken, untaps 2 leader, which is, I think, still very powerful. And then still the same thing, attack, swing, mill 2, and then you have the one, when they attack, you ditch a blue and you get to negate an attack once per game, which
Really good.
Really good. If this didn't have the stipulation where you can't include higher level creatures in it, I feel like this would be one of the best leaders for blue.
100%, yeah.
100%. So let's start with the profile. So for mine, I do run kind of the standard Janemba package where I start off with the 4 of the Psych Demons rocking out. I've seen decks where they only do 2, 3, none, and it's like, well, you know what? I want to try to get my Janembas. I'm going to get them to my hand. Alright. Then next is the Childish Heart Janemba. I do run this one at 4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, this one...
I saw it every time, honestly.
I saw it every time, and the fact, too, that I run the 4 and 4, where it's like, okay, take this, evolve, then send it away to the bottom of the deck, bring out another one, bring it back, evolve it again. It
hurts.
It really hurts. I was able to one match against Toa, get 3 of them off in a single turn.
Oh, congrats! That's a hard, difficult matchup usually because they put all those cards back. So that's awesome, man.
So that's kind of the small package for everything. Next, I run the 2 Reality Benders. Some people like running it at 1 for Janemba. I like more of a meteor deck. I used to always do that with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, give me a thicker deck, but I like running these at 2. These turn 4 when I've got nothing because I keep on warping or sending to the bottom of the deck. It just bam, mill 2. I could swing with it if I did. I kind of play defensively for the most part, which you're going to see with the rest of the cards coming up, but this is one of the MVPs of the deck, where it's like, okay, how many cards left in your deck? 5. All right, I look at my hand, I swing the leader, mill you for 2, draw this, it's like, oh, game.
Plus it's good against TN because it doesn't require that much energy.
Nope, it's a 1
It doesn't untap, so you don't lose that trigger, so...
Moving forward, I run 3 of the Demon Sword. This one I really didn't use today, only when I'm like, okay, there's a big body on the board, let's just bring it out to just activate main, warp it.
I love Demon Sword, dude.
It's really good for what it is. It mills 2, it's a 20k deflect critical, mills 2, really good. Next, kind of the MVP of the mill deck is the 4 of Agent of Destruction Janemba. This one is just bonkers.
Oh, it's amazing.
During my Toa matchup, when I had these 3 on the board, I was tapped out. Then at end turn,
all energy back.
All energy just came right back. And the fact too that you draw for this card is this card is bonkers.
Yeah, you mill them 3 and you draw and you get energy back. It's just it's plus.
All right, so that's all the Janemba cards that I run for the deck. Now it's kind of more of the support for it. All right, so for my 1-drops, I run 2 of the Awakening Talent Pan. This is your Self-Awakener, and it's pretty much a +1 to your hand each time, because swing, take a life, bounce back. Super good for what it is. I run 3 of the Borgos here. I did have it at 2, but I was just kind of like, you know what, let me draw. I didn't really play a lot of blue that actually utilized this, where it's like on their turn they untap with Sensu Bean, or if they're blue later they use the Trunks.
It made me play around. I had to use a Kid Goku to get rid of it, which is smart. You know what I mean? It's value.
Most of the time, this one was energy. Not gonna lie. And I did side this at least one of them out every game, just because it's like, well, I'm not running it.
Yeah.
For the most
Next, 3 of the Kami. This is for, just if they're trying to rush you down, trying to put a lot of bodies on the board, Kami, draw a card, tap 2, blow up the field.
So why 3? Most people run this card at 2.
I like it meatier because I
want to
don't...
do ratios, yeah.
I like good ratios and the fact that, one, I don't have a lot of options for Janemba. It's like you have your one goal, mill their deck
That's
out.
true, yeah.
There's others who've done the Assault Janemba where they have the 4 drops that can do, triple strike like the auto cost Vegeta, which we'll see in a moment. But yeah, I like this at 3. I did, it's a card to side out to, for the most part. It's like, okay, 2's fine, or, if I'm going against BR Broly, they're not going to 4. So it's like, okay, all of them are gone. Put in my stuff that I need.
That's true.
But yes, this card is good. It's still good. Kami is the original. My one of the 2-drop Trunks, swing on your turn, untap an energy when you combo with it. They needed to limit this to 1 because
it's so powerful.
I played Storm back in the day. This at 4 with the Goten and the Bardock, it was disgusting. Turn 2, I was able to get 10 attacks off, but as a 1-of, it's really good. For more defense, I run the Son Goku striving to be the best. This stops the 2 drops from attacking and lower at all times.
Yeah.
I was running the Supreme Kai from the anniversary set, the counterplay one, but that one, yes, you play it, you draw a card, and they can't attack for the turn. This one, you can't attack ever if it's on the field.
1 turn delay is not as good as an entire delay.
Exactly. Not a lot of people had any answers to this. You didn't with your skill
No, I did
stuff.
not.
The only thing you could attack with was your 30k, which I'm like, fine, I'll take the damage, I'll take the damage for that 1 round.
We also had the those other cards that deal with it, so.
Yes, exactly. Moving forward to my last 2 level is the Super Combo. I like this one better than the actual Sparking one, just because I'm not really putting a lot in my grave. And regardless, I'm going to get it to 4 energy anyway, so this is still good.
That's true, okay.
I run 1 of in the main of the Godstrike Beers. I didn't use it at all this time. Nobody really, I had the energy open. I never had the card in my hand for when they would swing with me with like a triple strike, double strike, dual attack. It's a good card. I still think it's really broken where it's like, if you're going against skillless and they go...
Yeah, it strips it from them.
It just rips out the entire, they're 120 combo and you got 2 life and they activate the double strike. It's like, okay, tap 2, single strike, and they have nothing in their hand. This card is extremely good for any deck nowadays. Next, I only run 4 of the Cell as my pseudo super combo.
No Gokus?
I do not run the Gokus.
How come?
I was looking at everything, and you know what? It's a 10k power just to draw a card. And yeah, I get it. I could defend my life, but I rather do more on my turns, or on my opponent's turns,
defend.
And just defend. Yes. There's a reason why, and you'll see in a second why I cut them out because of another card that recently came out.
Yeah.
But yes, this card, swing, draw a card. If it gets forced to be played on you, like if you're playing against the Trader Dende deck, guess what? They play that just to get rid of it. Okay, I'll still draw a card because it got played.
That's true.
But it's like, what's your preference, Goku or the Cell?
Yeah.
The Cell's better in some weird cases.
Well, because if it gets played, you know what I mean?
If it gets played,
the Goku doesn't do anything because you're never going to summon it.
No. And
against Dende, the hand-controlled Frieza Dende, you still draw the card, so...
Yes. And that's all the battle creatures in the deck. Next, we're going to extra cards. I run 4 Dimension Magic. Best.
It's amazing card.
Just best. I run 4 of the Sensu Bean because you need to.
Yeah.
If you're looking to get it, you can get it with the Expert deck. They give you 1 in the deck.
Sensu Bean?
They give you 1 Sensu Bean
really
in
cool.
the deck, which is kind of amazing that they only did 1. And for the last 2 cards of the deck, I run 2 Mafu, or 2.
I actually didn't know you ran Mafuba. I didn't see it. Did you not see it against me? Or?
I didn't see it against you. Mafuba, it's Mafuba. It's so good. When I was playing the Toa deck, he brought out the double strike 5-drop Mira before going in,
did?
and he swung and he gave a critical because he didn't want to have me get cards. I'm like, okay. And the guy just, I could tell he was upset.
Yeah.
And then the MVP.
Oh my god, this card's so annoying.
Of this deck is the new from set 7. You're wide open.
That card's so annoying.
This card, for most of the colors of this next set, they released preemptive strikes. Except for yellow. They got their counterplay they draw 2, which is kind of weird, but actually helps their decks out. But this card, for 2 blue energy, when they play anything that's a 4-drop or less, it does not touch the field, it goes back into their hand.
Which is good.
Now, against Kid Ku, I would activate it on your Kid Goku ability for you to summon it out, which, you know, it adds a card to your hand, which, yeah, from your deck to your hand, that's a plus for you, but it saved me.
Go.
But for the most part, this saved me from taking a 30k damage on turn 2, turn 3.
Plus they stay there as well, you know what I mean? Like,
and I took out the Goku Super Combo to play this and another card. I can't remember which one, but I think it was just to add more of the Psyche Demon or the Childish Heart. But this card was the MVP. If you're running blue, you need to run this.
Definitely. The card's just the most annoying card in the world because it prevented me from playing my auto cost Vegetas, which means it prevented me from pushing super hard.
The only thing it's 4-drop or less, so anything 5-drop or more, it's kind of useless. Unlike the red one, which I think targets anything for 50, and there are the new like put and play battle card, or not 50, 20. But there are the new put and play battle cards that do kind of similar effects, which we're about to see for the extra deck. For the extra deck, 1 Toki, just in case if I did not see the Kami. I did not run this all day. I did not need to for the most part. 1 Crisis Crusher, the MVP against 1 drops.
So annoying, dude.
I sided against you, and it instantly helped. I sided it in against a Hirudegarn deck, which I could not find, and he was running the Double Strike Kabas and the critical.
I think it was one of the Hill twins.
It was one of the Hill twins, yeah. I think Eon Hill, and I thought I was going to play him in my finals matchup, and I'm like, well, here's a scoop. But no, I played you, which was actually really fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I was having a blast. I didn't.
Well, I was trying to make the game enjoyable.
Exactly.
I really take the game too seriously sometimes.
So that was really good. An MVP against any discard deck is Mercenary Tau.
You need that card, honestly.
Against my Toa deck, I won both games against him. His first games, he kept on bringing out the Mira that discarded a card, not attacking me. So, well, I sided it in. I didn't see it at all that game until turn 4, and that's when I won.
Yeah, you don't need it.
And then I played the Frieza Trader Dende Frieza deck.
Oh, yeah.
Where he ran the 1-star ball, which I'm like, yep, pretty standard. I built the deck. I ran it before. So I sided it in, and I was able to get it out. And he just looked at me, and he was able to get around it. But, yeah, it's like, I'm not messing around. A lot of people should be siding this in regardless against anything that would discard. Like Slug is a big thing,
and it really hurts Janemba, honestly.
It does, because this deck, I get it. You draw every turn, but you're not like drawing a lot.
You're not plussing. You're not doing hard pluses.
No, you're not. One of the Champa. I sided in just to be tricky if I'm trying to like attack them actually. To double strike.
Some people forget that. Wait a minute, I can still lose by damage.
So that was really good. I sided in only once, and I didn't use it. So it's good for what it is. Next, for the mirror, if it were to happen, this will grab something from my grave back, or just, hey, 2-drop 20k double strike. Yeah. Go for it.
No one expects it anymore.
Nobody expects it. It's a really good card. It jumped up in price. I lost 3 of them somehow.
Oh, that sucks.
And I had to buy 3. I'm like, oh, they're like a $2 card. It jumped up to $11 a pop.
Oh, wow.
I was a little salty when I had to complete the set.
Probably because Mira's on it, like the whole black.
I think, Mira.
Any good black cards are really jumps in value.
Speaking of Mira, here's the opposite Toa. This was for the skillless counter, where I played it against you. I took your Kid Ku. It's like, I got the Crisis Crusher out. No, I want to take it.
Yeah, just take it from me.
It's super good to take cards. Like, you can take, BR Broly's, and they don't give the effect until you put it in the grave, which you just leave it there.
Yeah.
So... 2 of the at all cost Vegetas. This is a game ender if I was going Assault. I didn't need to use it at all, but it's a good option where if you have, 3 life, bring it out at 5, take 2, swing.
Strong.
And see what happens. You got to risk it sometimes. I'll get to this one in a moment. For any blue matchup, was this. I was debating. For a second, when I was playing you, I was like, oh, outside in T, and he's running blue. I'm like, wait, he's not a blue or a red leader. So against those leaders, this card's great. Hey, they can't untap. Against anything else, not so much.
It's a 4-drop. It's not worth it then.
It's a 4-drop that you can play for 1, and it's, really good. And now to the new set 7 cards. I run 2 of All Too Easy.
Really good card.
This is the new negate where when you negate, you can actually bounce a level 1 back to their hand, and then when it's in the graveyard, not the turn that you activate it, but the next turn, you can pay its cost to play it from the grave by removing from play a card. It's not warped, it is gone from the game. A lot of people were kind of confused about that. With
Because that's a different area. People don't realize that because set 2 did that a lot more than our set.
It's like with the Dragon Balls when you Ultimate Wish. Yep. That's what happens. And then the last 2 cards, the other put in play card, where I would kind of combo with it with this card, where turn 2, I'd play this. Turn 3, if this was in my hand, I'd play this. So it's a 3-cost Gohan counterplay, and it's a permanent one. There are 4 others in the set that do this, where you have a multicolored card in there, you know, red, green, blue, yellow. It reduces it by 1. I didn't run any of those because I didn't feel like I needed to. Like the Bojack stuff, I didn't like. I tried
it. You don't like yellow, do you, in the deck at all?
Not in this deck, no.
Okay.
I like yellow in general, but not with this. But when you play it, on their turn for the counterplay, you bounce one of their creatures back. And then you untap an energy.
So it's basically a 1 energy bounce back and a body on board.
If you're running multicolored. It's basically a 2-drop. So it's another one. It's another one of these. I believe it targets 4 or less. Yeah, 4 or less. So again, this one's good, and then you have a body on the board, it's 15, 15, 15. Yeah. It's like the put and play Future Gohan for blue, but this one does more. And that's basically it for the deck profile right now. I was 10th in the Swiss cut. I lost to you round 1. I'm not sure what my final standing is, but I got my invite. I'm not sure if I'll be playing this much. I'll be experimenting more with the newer decks that are out, like the Universe 6. It looks very interesting.
Any changes you make to the deck at all?
Any change with this, you know...
Anything you regret maining or siding? Or
honestly, the one thing that I took out before was the Supreme Kai, and I think that was the better choice. Honestly, I like the
deck. If you played the Supreme Guy against me, it would only hurt me a turn or 2, but then I already kept smashing in.
But then it's like, okay, let's,
can't deal with it.
Let's play Striving to be the best, bring them out, and just ruin it. But no, I think this is a good median where I had it. I was running this at my locals and stuff like that. I got sick of it, but then, it's like, well, it's Old Faithful in the back there.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised I didn't see a lot of Janembas.
Me too, honestly.
I think I might have saw one in the lower seeds.
Yeah, I did too.
I went X2 and I got I got 10th. My first round was actually against a gentleman who I came with, Javad Cruz. He beat me. It was kind of funny because we were a little bit playtesting the night before. Round 2 was the Red Broly deck, which interesting. I might want to try that. Round 3 was a win for me because my opponent didn't show.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Round 4 was the Toa. Round 5 was against Ian Hill, and he had the Hirudegarn. And then round 6 was the Trader Dende.
Oh, nice.
So it was interesting to play the Broly one. I was upset I didn't play round 3, and I got the free win. I didn't feel like I should have gotten it, but hey, a win's a win.
You were 2-0 at that point, or?
I was...
1-1?
No, I had the loss.
Okay.
So I was 1-1, I was 2-1, and then I played the Toa leader. I'm like, well, let's see how this goes. And I was shocked I won because of how messed up that thing was, especially game 1. And literally, I ran with like 3 cards in hand the entire game, and I was able to beat him.
Nice, man.
He was smart enough not to get this search every time he would attack.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, okay, how do I win this? And I'm just like, oh. And I'm looking at how many cards in your deck? 11. All right. He activated his thing, milled him his own. I was like, okay, swing, mill. Next turn he draws and he loses.
Oh, dang.
And same with the Trader Dende. It was just super easy. It's a burst leader. That's a Dragon Ball leader.
Yeah.
So automatically, if he plays 2 Dragon Balls first turn, he's already down 4 cards.
Yeah, if he doesn't get Awakened by turn 2, he's so screwed.
Mm-hmm. And the fact with that, I'm going to play the Frieza. No.
Yep.
You don't get to play the Frieza. It goes back to your hand. And guess what? It went energy every time that I noticed.
Well, congratulations, man. You were honestly probably one of the best gym players I've gone against. You gave me my first gym loss against my deck. So.
Yeah, you know what? If there's going to be cancer that needs to be played, I'd rather be the best with the cancer.
I feel you, man.
Because a lot of people make fun of the deck, but
It's my favorite villain. I wish the other leader was better.
And you know what? If you play Dragon Ball Fighters, he's going to be the next DLC character.
That's awesome.
So, thank you.
Of course. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.